So yeah, let's do Sacred Rose. It's a white one. So now we're always stuck with a variety of like tricks and techniques here when it comes to doing white. What I think we'll do is we're just gonna airbrush it instead of using the contrast. I really enjoy the contrast. So if you want to do it priming white and going contrast, it's a smart play. I like it. But we can get a little bit more fancy schmancy here. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll go the fancy schmancy route. And let's move this here. I don't need this. Definitely don't need this. Okay. So let's go the fancy schmancy route, folks. Alright, so why? Let's start here on Dark Reaper. You can't read because it's all covered in goo. Let's do Sacred Rose. So they're a white one. I like that. I was leaning towards silver as well, but I couldn't find any good looking silver order with a name that I like. But it's a really cool scheme. I wouldn't. I sort of like it. I would like as well the silver scheme. I think it's a nice color for Sisters of Battle. But let's do so. Sacred Rose is white. We're not gonna do contrast. We did it in the past for was it Tau? One video we did with contrast. You could do the exact same thing, but this one we're gonna do with Dark Reaper, which is a bluish gray. So we're kind of gonna start again on our primer here, and it's kind of we're doing the entire armor here. We're not leaving any of the black on the armor. Obviously, there's gonna be some overspray. That's okay. So I'm happy with this now. So our maul is the armor anyway. Some parts of the cloak obviously are not, but our maul is like 99% Dark Reaper, which is perfect. No real traces of that blue, so we can move forward. So now we'll go with our Ultron Gray. It's my favorite color for white. It's just a little off-white, so we can build that color easier. We can build a white easier with like an off-white. That's the proper way to go, like a much steeper transition from that dark gray into that super light gray, like off-white. Got it. So I'm gonna go really slowly here. And we're just going to build it from the top down. You've seen me do this before. Now this little lady here, she has like a bionic arm, so that's really cool. That's something we can add some silver to. It's going to look real nice. Because we have a lot of other details in silver on this model. So you can see I'm adding like gradually some more. It almost looks like a zenithal priming at this point. Which, if you think about it, that's kind of what this is. Now we have like a lot of this contrast going on, so that's really nice. So not a lot of the dark gray is still showing through. It's mostly white at this point, and what we're going to do is we're going to keep our white for the paintbrush. We're just going to edge highlight with white. If we wanted to go like super crazy, what we could do is go with white and then add the apothecary white contrast on top of everything. So that would add some crazy depth to it. It would kind of blend everything together. Keep the white as simple as possible, because if we make mistakes and the white is like 6 steps, well, we have to repeat those 6 steps to correct it, which is a big morale killer. So we're trying to preserve morale here. So now model back white. So we'll use the army painter white here. I like that one a lot. I say this every single time, but I like it every single time too, so it checks out. And so now what we're going to do here is just edge highlight everything with white. And this is because this is the only pure white in our on our model. This is going to be very. We need to be careful with what we do because it's very potent. So just doing the armor, the cloak we're going to do most likely black. And we're also going to do all these little details on the backpack right now as well. I'll try to show you guys as we do it, because when I bring it closer, it kind of works. So I'll just do a couple of highlights, and then I'll bring it closer to you guys so that you can see. And hopefully this makes sense. Ooh. Like so. This is really, really nice. Alright, so now we got a bunch of these cool highlights on there. Let's see if the camera picks it up. It's doing its best. And a few highlights. So let's do black right now. Now what we need now is just to redo our base coats for the black and the silver, which are going to be the two main colors on this piece. Well, next to the white, of course, but the white is kind of done. So, base coat here. So now, obviously now is the time to be extra careful, because we don't want to, we don't want to put black onto our white here. We definitely don't want to start over. We want to avoid touch-up as much as possible on that white. We're gonna do our best here. It's not gonna be the most fun that we're gonna have today, but it's gonna be well worth it at the end, because this scheme is ballin'. And now, oh, there's a sleeve over there, and there's the hair as well. This one's hair we're gonna do black. There's nothing wrong with white. We could leave it white as well, to be perfectly honest. But I do think that black is going to offer us something a little bit more interesting for the hair. Okay. There we go. Now we have a couple of details here. So now this fella is here. We're going to paint black. I think a lot of the details in black is going to look really nice. So that's what we're going to do. Next up, there's one on the knee here. Another last little fleur de lis right there. This is neat. And now we're also gonna cheat here just a little bit, and we're gonna do kind of the back of the neck area here. And we're going to do this in black, and the reason for that is that it's a really hard to reach and hard to see area. So if it's black, it's kind of not going to bother anyone. Whereas if it's like white or off gray, it's going to look unfinished. Okay, perfect. Alright, so next up, well, how about we do the face? Right? I think doing the face early on in the scheme kind of makes a lot of sense, because it's also a really hard part to... You don't really go near that area with like more paint, so might as well do it right now. So we'll do Bugman's Glow, and then we'll do Bugman's Glow, and then Kislev Flesh, and then some sort of shading, which is just our standard tabletop skin color. Does she have an eye patch? Is that a pirate? Show me that pretty face of yours, little lady. Or is it just the face like wonky? Let's do Kislev Flesh right now. Just a quick little highlight. Nothing crazy. Just a quick little thing. Like so. Again, nothing crazy. We just want to get it in there, because the shading is what's going to make the difference here. Speaking of shading, let's go. We'll do a Grox Earth Shade. So this is pretty much our standard skin. We did this in a couple of other videos. It just works, you know. It's there we go. So now silver. Let's do a couple of silver. So now let's start with that little thing. Now, white and gold are really, really nice together. However, that's not with the that's not like the super official scheme. So we're gonna stick to silver, but no, in your hearts of hearts, that white and silver is like meant to be. Okay, white and gold. Sorry, white and gold is like meant to be. It's an amazing color combination. It works so well. So don't shy away from doing gold details with white model. It looks amazing. So we're gonna go back to our Stegadon scale green here. So now this is a very blue. They say green, but it's like a dark, very dark turquoise, or like a sea color. I guess it's called ocean blue. And we're using this because it ties really well with the bluish gray that we use as a bait for our white, as the base for our white. Sorry. So we're gonna use this to highlight our black here and to give it some interesting little color. Otherwise this army would look very, very bland, right? Like if it's just white and black, you need something. And that something is going to be an interesting little use of blue. So we're going to go here. So here, again, this is one of those things where you can take your time here and do kind of whatever technique you wish. You know, if you want to dry brush, you can. It's going to work. You have to be very, very careful if you dry brush because you really don't want to hit that white armor. But it is going to work, and it is going to give you the right effect. But now we have something I like a lot. So now Ahriman blue. Ahriman blue is much lighter than these two colors. So now we have to be a little bit more careful. You know, if this is too much for you, you can thin it with what's it called? You can mix it with the Stegadon scale green if you want to, and that will ease up the transition if you don't want to go that like super light route. But mine is like very, very thin down, so I'm quite happy with this. So I'll use my very, very thin down, and I'll just go carefully here, not to overdo it. It's not so bad if you overdo it. It's not so bad because we get to wash it with black. So if we overdo it with the turquoise, we just add more. We just go a little bit crazier on the wash. Hopefully we do it perfect the first time, but if mistakes happen, it's not the end of the world. We can fix it. Again, because our technique here is very forgiving. That's kind of why it's a good technique for armies. Because it doesn't force you to be perfect or to take like an insane amount of time to do something, to do your models, right? Tell you to do it at a regular pace and correct mistake if you make any. Ours is not to be perfect. Ours is to plan around the fact that we are not perfect. So I like this. Now next, I noticed that the little buttons on the vest here. So now, where's the Null Oil? So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna Null Oil the crap out of all of this. And by that I mean we're gonna go very, very lightly. Okay, so one even coat on everything. We'll start with black and we'll do one even coat, like light even coat on everything, because we don't want it to bleed on the white. Otherwise it's gonna ruin our perfectly good white, and then we have to start over, and we don't want that. So we're gonna go carefully here, despite the fact that this is a wash and that usually you get carried away here. Not right now. Cool. So I really like this scheme here. Again, nothing, you know, nothing batshit crazy. But now once we add an interesting base, or a base that's not like off-white, this model takes a whole new look on life. I'm gonna do something like this here. So just brown with, I don't know, something. We'll just dry brush over this. With do we have like Steel Legion maybe? Yeah, there we go. Steel Legion drab. We'll just give it a little dry brush here. So, and then we'll add about like Zondri Dust or Skeleton Bone, something like that. Which one? Oh, the one we find first. Oh, we found Skeleton Bone because it was a tall pot. It was easier to spot. So, I think both would look fine. Skeleton Bone's a little bit lighter. Zondri Dust a little bit yellower. So, they both look fine. Okay, I just wouldn't go for a gray base here. Whatever base you choose, I wouldn't go for a gray, just because you want to break down the overall white of the model. So little sister right there. And holy jeebus, look at that freaking model. And this scheme is quite simple, but like quite striking. And then once we do the edges of the base, it's gonna give us like something really, really nice. I really enjoyed this one. And then I mean, this is I really enjoyed this. I think a full army like this is just bonkers, and it's pretty simple to do.